Today, I have a story for you guys about one of my subscribers who ended up getting his search history checked by his parents, and what they found was not the best. By the way, if you guys didn't know, all of these stories are up anywhere where podcasts are available. Just search KeidStories or click the link in the pinned comments. And with that all being said and done, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. For today's story, we're gonna call our subscriber Max. So this story starts on Christmas Day. All Max wanted for Christmas was a gaming laptop. At the time, he didn't have a phone, iPad, or any technology like that, but he would often watch YouTube videos on his parents' phone. And not only would he always watch KeidStories, the best storytime channel on YouTube, he would also watch a lot of videos about people playing Minecraft and other games like that. His favorite type of videos were about Minecraft mods, and that's why he wanted this laptop. He wouldn't be able to run the same mods that he watches YouTube videos on an Xbox, PlayStation, or phone. Instead, he would need a computer. So yeah, whenever he made his Christmas list, he had it only say gaming laptop, and he didn't ask for anything else. Now, this was still a big ask because those run around $700 to $1,000, but also he knew that Santa would hook him up. Anyways, Christmas morning arrived and he ran downstairs super excited to finally have his gaming laptop. However, he didn't know 100% whether or not he was going to get it, so he was just excited simply at the thought he was going to get one. He opened up his stocking and got little things like socks and toothpaste, which, I mean, who doesn't love the socks and toothpaste? I mean, that's like the best part. And then his parents, looking all sad, started to talk about how Santa wasn't able to deliver too many presents this Christmas. Now, immediately, Max was a little scared at this, but he was also, of course, understanding. He was starting to think about how he wasn't going to be getting a laptop, and it did make him sad, though, like I said, he understood. At first, he didn't even notice, but there was only one present under the Christmas tree. It was a smaller box, but when he picked it up, he noticed it was pretty heavy. Anyways, his parents gathered around and he opened it in front of them. And to his surprise, it was the gaming laptop he asked for, the exact make, model, and everything. Max was thrilled to finally have his own computer. And it turns out his parents were just playing a little bit of a joke on him, making him think he wasn't going to get what he asked for, but of course, he still got it. So after opening up his present and giving his parents the presents that he got them, he ran up to his room and spent hours setting up and exploring his new laptop. He downloaded Minecraft and watched some videos to learn how to install mods onto his Minecraft. He got the ones that he would watch YouTube videos about all the time, like for example, the Lucky Block mod and Pixelmon, and those were the first things he actually used the internet for, other than, of course, watching videos on his parents' phone, but this was his first time like truly accessing the internet and Googling stuff. Once he realized that on the internet you could search and find pretty much anything, he was pretty excited and couldn't wait to start seeing everything. He, of course, was searching a ton of stuff up about Minecraft, and he found out so many secrets that he never knew existed about the game, and just a whole bunch of information about the game that was all new to him. And then anytime something popped up in his head, like a question or something like that, he would search it up and Google would give him an answer. I mean, we all know the internet and how it works, but like, think about the first time you found out that it was a thing and all the stuff you could do with it. You gotta admit, it was pretty overwhelming at first. So Max was getting pretty used to the internet. He figured out how to install all of his mods, and finally, after watching other people play these mods, he finally got to play them for himself. So after playing for a bit, he went back to the internet, and eventually Max's curiosity got the best of him. He heard some kids at school talking about content on the internet and was pretty intrigued. He didn't know exactly what they were talking about, but he started to look up some of the words that the kids would say, trying to figure out what they meant. But after searching just one of the things his friends talked about, Max immediately was absolutely disgusted by what he saw, and he slammed his laptop closed and got out of there as fast as possible. Max took a few minutes to himself to just sit there and let it sink in what he just saw, and he was just pretty ashamed of himself. He kept looking at the laptop and contemplating how he was ever going to use it again, because he knew once he opened up the laptop, exactly what he had searched up on there was going to come up, but he really didn't want to see it again. But at the same time, he also really wanted to get back to his Minecraft world, so he kind of had to open it up. Eventually, with his eyes closed, he slowly opened up his laptop, and while squinting super hard so he could barely see anything, he went up and closed out of the browser. Then he spent the rest of the night playing on his Minecraft world and watching some stories from the YouTube channel KeidStories. Of course, he was subscribed, and each video that he watched, he was leaving a like because he's super epic. Yeah, Max is super awesome and cool, and also swag. Anyways, Max at this time thought that what he had seen was behind him at this point. Of course, he couldn't forget about it, but he figured that that was a problem of the past and he was just trying to move on. At the time, he didn't know that internet search history was a thing, but he would soon find out that it was in fact a thing. A few days had passed and Max at this point had basically forgotten about what had happened, but then one day his dad's laptop wasn't working and he needed to do some work, so he asked Max if he could use his laptop. Max instantly remembered what had happened, and all he can think about is if they were gonna somehow find out. Now, he didn't know exactly how they'd find out, but he was scared nonetheless. He panicked and started making up excuses, saying the laptop was dead and that it needed to be charged. And then the dad was like, oh, that's not a problem. We can let it charge for a minute. Max didn't like that response, so he came up with another excuse. Well, no, you can't because I have Minecraft on there and you're gonna ruin the world. And then the dad was like, well, just save the world. And the dad could tell that Max was pretty scared about something. With all the excuses Max was making, the dad knew that something was definitely up. Finally, the dad got a little angry and demanded that Max gives him the laptop immediately. Finally, after arguing for a while, the dad just goes to Max's room and grabs the laptop for himself. At this point, Max was absolutely terrified and just extremely nervous. He really didn't know what was going to happen next. I mean, it could be nothing, but just on the off chance it was going to be something, really scared him. The dad opened up the laptop only to find that there was a password. So he asked Max, so what's the password, son? And that's whenever Max just crossed his arms and shook his head, went, And then the dad demanded once again for the password. This time, not so nicely. But Max would not tell his dad the password. Mind you, Max wasn't even supposed to have a password on the laptop. That was one of the rules that they set for him. So the dad was already mad that he had a password in the first place, but now Max wasn't telling him the password. Like, if the dad didn't know that something was up before, he 1,000,000% knew now, after all of this. Eventually, after some back and forth, Max finally told his dad the password, mainly because his dad threatened to take away the laptop forever, which of course Max didn't want. So the dad signed in, and then the moment that Max has been anticipating this whole entire time, the dad begins to use the laptop and look around on it. But then to Max's surprise, the dad just goes, okay, thanks, I'm gonna get to work. At this point, Max's nervousness went up even higher because now he had to wait even longer. His anticipation is only growing now, waiting for his dad to possibly find out about what he has done. He went back up to his room as he knew that his dad had full access to his laptop and was browsing around on it. Max just couldn't stop imagining all the things that he might see or could possibly see, and he was just recounting everything that he's ever searched and everything that he's done on that laptop. And thinking about what his dad would have to say about the stuff if he knew about it. Would he be in trouble? Would it just be really embarrassing or what? Well, it was time for Max to find this out because after sitting around and just thinking in circles for around an hour, Max's dad yells for him to come downstairs. Now, he didn't sound angry or anything, so Max was thinking that maybe he got away with whatever and that his dad just may not have known, or maybe there was just no way that his dad could even know. I mean, like I said, he didn't know about search history or anything like that. He was just scared that his dad might know some way to figure it out. So as Max was walking down the steps, his dad was sitting in this chair right around the corner. And as Max is getting closer, his dad starts reading out some of Max's recent searches. Let's see here, he says. Funny cat videos. How to do the floss dance. Max's heart sunk at this point. He knew what he searched at this point, and he knew what was coming up. And it was now only a matter of time before it was read out loud to him. The dad continued, how to get your parents to buy you anything you want. The dad laughed at that one a little bit, and then continued even further down the list, until he got to one that was making him chuckle even before he read it. The dad, laughing, reads out, how to get girl to like me. Max's face was all red at this point, but that was far from the most embarrassing thing on this list. The dad continues on, cute girl cute, Minecraft girlfriend, and then Minecraft girlfriend mod. The dad, now really struggling to read him off from holding in all of his laughter, continues on to mutter out, Minecraft girlfriend mod, no pants. And I mean, if I was his dad, I'd also really struggle to read that out loud. Not gonna lie, I'd also be a little bit disappointed. Like, Minecraft? Really? And as the searches continue on, it switches from Minecraft to more real life things, and you could only guess some of the things that he searched. Max at this point was on the verge of tears. He was extremely embarrassed, and he was thinking the worst. He thought he was gonna get in some serious trouble. He was thinking like, no way they give me this laptop back after this. I'm gonna have to go back to like playing with Legos all day. And it was at that point that he started to make some crazy excuses. I didn't search that. It must have been the person who had the laptop before. Maybe they bought it and returned it. And the dad was like, no, this is a brand new laptop. Then the kid was all like, Google did it themselves. It searched it themselves. At that point, the dad was like, all right, listen, kid, you aren't in any trouble. All right, we just want to have a talk with you. Max's dad called over Max's mom, and together they had a talk with Max about his internet use and the stuff he searched. You know, they explained some things, and they told Max, you know, if he ever searches something like this again, then he's gonna lose his laptop. But the parents were more concerned about making sure that Max is safe on the internet and that he understood the dangers of the internet and the importance of making smart choices with what he's searching and doing on the internet. And they also wanted to make sure that he understood the other stuff too, which you gotta know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then just keep it that way. At this point, Max was very relieved that his parents were being understanding and not punishing him. This was the first time he ever got to access the internet, which is a place where you could pretty much figure out anything. And of course, you know, he's going to be curious about some things. And his parents explained to him that they trusted him and knew that he was responsible, but they also wanted to make sure that he was going to be making the right choices. After their talk, Max's parents had him remove the password from the laptop and explained to him that, you know, each week they're going to have to do a checkup and make sure that everything is okay, and that it was important for them to be able to check his internet use to ensure that he was using it responsibly. You know, it wasn't that they didn't trust him, it's just that he wasn't responsible with it once, so they just wanted to make sure that that wasn't going to happen again. Max agreed, and he promised to be more careful about the things he searched for in the future, and he promised not to search for the other stuff. Max learned a valuable lesson that day about the importance of being honest and open with his family. He knew that he could always turn to his parents for guidance and support, and he felt grateful to have such a loving and understanding family.